Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. We are officially in fall. It's past the 21st, so we're officially in fall. And I've just been getting to all my fall reads, and I've actually been sticking to my fall TBR, which is insanity for me. As a mood reader, like I want what I want when I want it. This is great. It's shocking, but I've been wanting these reads I've been reading, and they've been kind of good, kind of not. They've been okay. It's just been a little roller coaster of how they've been going. But I want to stay with my fall reads because fall does not last forever, sadly. We'll be getting into the winter/Christmas reads soon, so I want to get through all my fall reads. And there are plenty of these books that have been on my physical shelf for over a year that I need to get to them. I figured I would do a read with me for a week video, but I'm starting this on Thursday, so I'll probably end this video next Thursday and just see how many I could get done then. Realistically, it's gonna be like one physical book maybe, but we're aiming for 3. I also want to do a few different genres. So for fantasy / I guess this is romance, so romantasy, but we're putting this in the fantasy pile. We have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I read Once Upon a Broken Heart a few years back. Loved it. It is the best trilogy probably ever I think I've read, even though I don't remember half of it and I've been wanting to do a reread. But she also has a new book, Alchemy of Secrets, coming out soon, and I just didn't feel right going into that book without reading this trilogy, or at least the first one. We're going to read this. All I know about it is I remember Once Upon a Broken Heart, we got like a little bit of a cameo of one of the main characters in this book, and apparently we're going to get a cameo of Jax in this, which awesome. I love Jax. And yeah, all I really know about it is that they go to this carnival that comes around, and there's like I don't know, they get like trapped in it or something. It's always giving me winter vibes, but like I said before, I think it's just because Once Upon a Broken Heart just like is more of a winter read for me. So that's just how I automatically put this book. And then for our mystery thriller, we have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I also read The Inheritance Games and love that one by her. When I first grabbed this book, it was because Books A Million was having like a buy one get one half off, and to get the book I wanted, I just like grabbed this off the table because I had heard of it. I heard good things. I just didn't care, like didn't really want to read it. I was like, maybe I'll get to it one day. This is that day. I know a lot of people compare this to Criminal Minds. I myself have never really watched Criminal Minds. I watched it once, and that episode I watched with Tim Curry scarred me. So no, but I do love Law and Order. I used to love NCIS, so I think I will be okay. I used to really watch crime shows, mostly like when my mom was watching them, because she used to watch them all the time. I made this list the other day of the books I wanted to read this week, and at first I was really wanting to read this one, but then when I put this one on the list, I've been like itching to read it. Like I want to read it so bad. But the only thing is, like, I know this is technically young adult too. I've noticed that I don't really like young adult anymore. I've just grown out of that area. So then for our third book on my Kindle, I have like so many books downloaded. I was bored yesterday and my baby was napping, and I was just laying next to her, and I just like went through the Kindle store and just downloaded like everything almost. But we have a lot of options. There's some on here that like I didn't know was on Kindle Unlimited, and I really wanted to read this fall, like Slewfoot, for example. I want to read that so bad, but like we already have a fantasy in this mix, and we have a thriller, so we could go for romance. I have a horror one. I have Pet Sematary downloaded. The Ex-Hex is romance. The Wolf King is romance. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, because these are all pretty much fantasy and romance, which valid for fall. So I think I'm just going to wait, because my Kindle is actually, can you see that? She's gonna die. I don't have a charger for her right now, so I'm not reading on this anyway, but I think after these 2 books, or after one of these books, is when I'm gonna pick this up. And maybe by then we'll decide. But our options right now on here are Six of Crows, The Stillwater Girls, which sounded very interesting. Taming 7, I don't really want to put as an option in this video, just because I've been slowly reading that series just for like my own pleasure, or reading all of this is for my own pleasure, but you know, Babel, Slewfoot, The Wolf King, The Ex-Hex, Pet Sematary, and The Butcher. So those are all options that we will just decide later. It's actually so perfect how like rainy and gloomy this week is, because it really ties in with the comfy fall setting that I'm trying to have. Caraval or The Naturals? Also, another thing that I like realized I was doing, 2 of my options are the beginnings of series, and if I finish them, I'm going to instantly want to go into the next one probably. But neither of these are on Kindle Unlimited, so I think that will save me because I'll just be able to go into the next one without trying to go read the second book of whichever one and get off track with this video. I'm going to think on this because I really don't know which one I'm in the mood for. They're teenagers, I absolutely know that, but to say and figure out what the Hello Kitty had happened, like, is this another way to say what the hell happened but like PG? That's so cringy. I mean, it's clever, but it's so cringy. And I just wanted to give an update with the naturals. I am like 50 pages in, and oh my god, choosing to read that book, it's the best decision I made all week, and it's Wednesday, so what does that say? I don't know. I am literally obsessed. I'm 50 pages in, just now at part 2, and it is going so well. I'm literally having the time of my life right now. Why did I put it off for so long? I don't know. Like, I've always heard good things about it. Just recently I was watching Heather McLary read it, and even she was like saying how she had it on her shelf like forever, and then she just finally picked it up, and now she's like gotten through the whole series, I believe. That's currently me. When I finish this first book, there's no way I am not going to be able to go straight to the store and buy the second one. So this isn't going to make sense because obviously it's going to sound and feel just not just like the Inheritance games. Obviously the same author, so her writing in pretty much anything is going to be the same, but in the best way possible. It is giving the most Inheritance game vibes without being like about billionaires. From what I know just right now, our main girl Cassie is enrolled into a program for teenagers with special abilities that can help the FBI solve crimes and things like that. So this isn't like a random billionaire died and gave her his whole estate and everything. Maybe it's the puzzles. Maybe it's all the puzzles that's kind of like reminding me so much of it. Regardless, I love it so much. I really want to go to bed, but at the same time, I really want to go out there and read for like another hour. I got done reading earlier just for a little bit, and I almost didn't stop. Like, I had to force myself to stop so I could go do the dishes so we could have dinner. That's how like invested I am. Like, I was just about to say we could all starve. I'm already getting a 5-star feeling, and it could be because I just gave a book 5 stars today. Caught up, I did give that 5 stars. Maybe that's why I'm like feeling so deeply for this book right now, but I don't know. This part might be a bit of a spoiler, so if it is, I sincerely apologize. The chapters aren't like super quick. They're like maybe 10 pages, but like they read so fast. Her writing, I don't know what it is. I'm flying through these chapters. I think most of them are like 10 pages, which to me is normal amount. I don't think that's long, but it's also not short. But it just reads so freaking fast. Jennifer Lynn Barnes is just like clearly gonna become one of those authors who, after this one, I will buy whatever, because she doesn't miss. The only thing that sucks about these is they don't stay. Like, I want some that actually stay. So if anybody knows of any that do, I don't know how to find those. Every time I try to buy eye patches, all the reviews are like either they stay a decent amount or they don't stay at all. Let's go read. Okay, you guys. guys, I made it last night to chapter 13, 98 pages in, so I'm 100 pages in. I don't know how else to say I love it so much. We've been introduced to Dean, and Dean is just already, I just feel for him, and I don't even know what his story here is. I got a little fan cast. So for Agent Briggs, who is not one of the teenagers, but Agent Briggs, who's like over kind of the whole program, I see him as Jared Padalecki. That's Agent Briggs, Jared Padalecki. Like, I cannot unsee it. Dean is young Alex Pettifer. And as for Michael, I don't have a technical fan cast for Michael because I never like had a actor or singer or anybody I pictured as this person I'm about to say. But Jameson from the Inheritance Games is who I'm seeing as Michael. The attitude and everything, he is completely Michael. But like when I'm reading, I'm picturing this person. I'm not picturing Jameson. I'm picturing, like, does it make sense? Like, I guess I fan casted whoever my brain came up with for Jameson as Michael. And that's what I'm seeing. As for Cassie, not seeing anybody. Leah, I can picture her. I picture Leah, but like not a particular person. Sloan, I can't picture an actual person. There's my little update. I am about to read a little bit right now. Today being the day that Tate McRae released Tit for Tat, and then literally reading that, is that not just like a sign that this is going to be a 5-star book, that one of my favorite artists releases a song and the title is in the book? Like, am I that lame, or does that not make sense? The vibe I'm getting from this is the summer I turned pretty. Between Michael and Dean, Cassie is definitely giving Belly. Dean is giving Conrad just like the moody, staying to himself kind of thing, burrowing his feelings. And Michael is actually completely Jeremiah. So if this were to be a little triangle, I'm gonna say now we are on the right team. Like Team Conrad, we are on Team Dean because I am loving Dean right now, and it's just giving such the summer I turned pretty vibes, but without being summer. It's more of like a thriller thing, more crime than beach romance. One more thing, I know I said yesterday that the chapters weren't short, that they're like 10 pages and they felt short. Only a few chapters are like 10 pages, the rest are like 5 to maybe 8, but it still does read so fast that I am flying through it. It doesn't feel that long. Finished The Naturals. The twist at the end of this had me gagged. As you can see, like right here in this clip, I was sitting next to my baby while she was napping, so I couldn't like shout like I wanted to. Like, holy freaking crap, insane. I couldn't have called this. Usually with thrillers, I can't call it. Like, I'll have guesses. I'm always so confident in myself, but I didn't even try this time because I was like, I know I'm not gonna be able to call it. I am so excited to go buy book 2 and get to it because this is just amazing. I typically don't like YA books, and I didn't know how I would feel about a YA thriller kind of book. I don't know. I think it's just romance books for me, YA. Like, I can't read them anymore. They're too cringy. This wasn't cringy. The writing was so good, so fast, so easy to read. Just everything came together so beautifully. I love it. It's so crazy. Yesterday, I took a picture while I was outside reading, and I spilled some coffee on one of these pages. And I took a picture of it, put it on my Instagram story, and I literally just said truly tragic. And people thought I was crying over this book. Bear in mind, this is the first book. It's not sad really at all. And people were like, OMG, felt, saying, so real. No, I wasn't crying. It was just my coffee. And when I pointed that out, like, it was coffee, not a tear. My tears are not brown.
I hope. I've never noticed if they are. Those people are like, oh, okay, well, it will make sense for you to cry later on because of how tragic it is for these kids and their backstories and everything. And now I am just terrified, but in the best way. I'm so excited to get to the rest of the books, but like, am I going to get that deep of a connection with these characters that's going to kill me when something terrible happens, or when I find out about their lives before? I don't know, maybe, probably. This past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I didn't read at all. I read a little bit yesterday. Today's Tuesday, by the way. I read a little bit yesterday morning and just finished this book now, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get 3 books done in a week. So I decided, instead of this being like a week of reading my fall TBR, where it's just in general reading my fall TBR. So there's the first book off my fall TBR done. Now we have to think about the second, not the second book of this, but the second book in this video. And I think that is going to be Caraval. I think I'm going to get to it. I need a little bit of romance right now after that last book. I don't really want a mystery. I know that one had like, not puzzles and games, but like all the solving of a crime is basically a puzzle. And I'm pretty sure that this has games. Okay, see, she becomes enmeshed. Oh, it's a big word for Elmo. In a game of love, heartbreak, and magic with other players in the game. Okay, so this, you know what, maybe I will do this one next because it kind of sticks to our theme of games and trying to solve things somehow, but more fantasy.
So I made it 77 pages into Caraval yesterday, and I figured I'd give you guys an update while I make my coffee because you just saw me start it, but all good things so far. I'm really enjoying it, even though I'm barely 10% in. I still stand by when I said I think that this would have been a really good winter read. Our main characters, Tella and Scarlett and Julian, they just made it to Legends Private Island for the Caraval. It's covered in snow. There's snow everywhere. But this island is like magical, obviously, and there's lots of like little tricky things. So I don't know if maybe the weather will change. I feel like it could. I feel like it might. Because carnivals, you know, typically they're in like spring, summer, and fall. You don't really see winter carnivals, at least I don't. So I think that the whole season might change, and I really feel like if it doesn't change the fall, it's probably going to change the spring. So either way, I really feel like this still would have been a better winter read. I'm actually starting to love giving my little fan cast to y'all. Governor Dragna. When I picture Governor Dragna, I see Lucius Malfoy with a goatee. As for everybody else, I don't really see anybody yet. Julian, I can picture. I've seen him as like this AI image. I don't know how to explain that, and that kind of worries me for our world, but as of right now, I'm not really getting like a 5-star feeling. I'm getting definitely somewhere in the 4s, but I am seeing that magical writing Stephanie Garber has. I feel like it took it a minute from the first page to really show. Like, I'm starting to get the kind of feeling I got during Once Upon a Broken Heart. I feel like this is the most fall looking I've been for this entire literal fall reading vlog. I got this blanket sweatshirt the other day. Like, I've been wanting one forever, and I finally got one. I got a little Halloween one, and I got my apple cider and my little ghost mug, and Billy is here to cuddle with. I am set and super comfy to read. And like I was saying earlier about the seasons changing, literally after I said that, 2 chapters later, there was no more snow on the ground after they left the mansion and started heading towards their first like little game task thing in this. So I have hopes that will not completely feel wintry for the rest of the book. Hey you guys, I finished Caraval last night. This is definitely not my favorite piece of work by Stephanie Garber. I'm still excited for Alchemy of Secrets, which is out now, but I don't know how I feel about continuing this series. I'm interested, kind of. I'm in no rush, like how I am for the second book in the Naturals. Like, I would love to get that one soon, But the second book for this one, if I get to it, I get to it. I honestly don't really care. It was pretty fun, but our main character, Scarlett, just bothered me so much. I understand her trust issues because of her dad. Like, I get it, truly. But every little thing that I feel like was pretty obvious that she shouldn't have done, she did. For every decision she made, after we got the twist, I feel like it should have been kind of obvious to her, like, don't do this, do this. It is also kind of hard to like fault her when this whole game was so like insane. I kind of feel like it never stopped with the twist though. Like, I know that's the whole point of the game, but so about 40% in is when I kind of started to lose interest, but like I was still reading. I wasn't begrudgingly reading, but you know, it just wasn't as good as it kind of started. And then halfway through, I started loving it again. I thought it was great. The first few twists I started getting, I was like, oh my god. And then towards the end, I stopped caring. And I did not see in this book, just be warned, there was no Jax cameo. I don't know if it'll happen like one of the other two books, which, you know, like I said, I don't really care to get to right now. So maybe I will never get to see Jax in this world. But actually, I think it's all the same world, but whatever. So yeah, this one is finished and I'm pretty glad to get to the next one, to be honest. It wasn't terrible though. Please don't take anything I'm saying as like, don't read this book. I do recommend you read this book, especially if you're like just getting into fantasy or you're not comfortable reading high stake fantasy. It's a good one to do. So sticking with the young adult route we're kind of going. Actually, I don't know if this is young adult. I know it like time jumps like past and present, so it kind of is, but I don't think it's actually young adult. This book right here is like one of the big TikTok books. I feel like it's been around forever. It's been popular forever. I've seen people do dedicated videos to reading just this one book. I know people love it. Like overall, it's like a 5-star book. And I've had it for maybe 2 years and I've put it off for 2 years because it's one of those books that like really intimidates me because everybody loves it so much and like I'm terrified of not loving it. I feel like I want more romance because we didn't get a lot of romance in Caraval. It's just like a subplot and that whole thing was like insanely twisted anyway. I want some romance, and I know I was going to pick a book off my Kindle, but listen, what happened was I went ahead and I started The Wolf King and I'm like, I don't even know how far I'm into that, maybe like 20%. And I'm just reading that on Kindle right now. I don't want to have to switch to another book. And like I said, I've been needing to get to this book and it's helping get all these books off my physical TBR. Like this is literally 3 books off my physical TBR in what, 2 weeks I've been making this video so far, which is crazy because I usually only read like 2 physical books a month and then the rest are on like Kindle or audio. So this whole thing is helping to loosen up, make more room. Sorry, Amren's playing with a ball. The whole thing of this video is helping to make room on my TBR so I could go get more books or trophies for like books I read on Kindle or audiobook or something. I don't know. So I need to get to this book that I'm about to tell you about so I have more room on my shelves. And that book is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I'm finally getting to it, finally. I don't even know what this is about. I know it's a second chance, which is not my favorite. It depends on how it's done, because a lot of second chances is like, why did you break up in the first place? If it was because of the dumbest miscommunication ever, I'm not going to enjoy the story like 9 times out of 10. Okay, so it is Friends to Lovers, which I do like. Maybe one day I'll be able to read a book and not. How did that just happen? I have absolutely no idea. There's no coffee on my hands and it's literally, we love it. We just got to the present timeline, which is literally the first chapter, but regardless, it does take place in October, literally the beginning of October for the present timeline. So I think I made a good choice in picking this for the final read for this fall reading vlog. It's clearly perfect.
time for an update on this book so far. I'm like 20% in, not that far, but I will say it's living up to the hype right now. My expectations, I didn't put them too high just because with the last book, I got proven again that like books that are typically well loved are not well loved by me. They might be good, but they're not the best. So I didn't really go into this expecting too much, but look at how much I've already tabbed. Like, to me, that's a lot for what little bit I've read. I wanted to talk about a couple of the quotes that why did I take that out? I'm literally gonna lose my place without that. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some of the quotes that I've like marked up here. So spoiler alert for Love in Other Words. Our main character, Macy, her mom died. I won't say how or like why or anything like that, but just so you, just so you know for this quote. And here she's talking about her dad and like the aftermath of losing her mom. And you know, like a dad doesn't typically know what to do for a girl. But my dad learned how to put my hair in ponytails, what kind of shampoo to buy. He even had someone teach him how to braid and use the curling iron for special occasions. He could have done what was easiest for him and just cut it all off, but he didn't. So that right there, literally just like maybe a week or two ago, I was telling him about our baby's hair because she has curly hair. And I was just like, if anything ever happens to me, do this, not that, which he probably won't remember just because like it's a few certain steps, not to fault him or anything, but there's different ways to deal with curly hair. I was telling him that, you know, like if I'm not here, God forbid, and you know, as she gets older, she's going to need help with her hair, do certain things. And I don't know, I instantly started thinking about that when I read this little paragraph, and I got a little teary-eyed because like I just hope that he's like putting in that, I know he will for a fact, but like if anything happens to me, that he's putting in certain efforts because he has a daughter. And it's like so different. Like we have a boy too, but he already knows what to do for a boy. You know, he's a man, but starting this portion of the video off really sad, aren't I? God. And then a little bit under that, Macy says, did I ever tell you that I have my mom's hair? And Elliot goes, I think you have the prettiest hair I've ever seen. And that's not even that deep, but like it is. Oh my God. Okay, and this one, like I said, we're going backwards. So, but literally this book time jumps, and technically what I just read for you was from a then chapter, and this is current chapter. So really, are we going backwards or are we going right on time? You broke up with her last night? You're the love of my life. I assumed I would get over you eventually, but seeing you yesterday, I couldn't go home to someone else and pretend to love her with everything I had. Can we just talk about so much respect for Elliot for that? Because like he knows he does not love his girlfriend, especially after, or like he loved her, but after seeing Macy again, like all bets are off. He knows he cannot be with her because it's not right, because she's not Macy, and he did the right thing. He did the right thing by breaking up with her and not just like stringing that along and continuing. And I'm so obsessed with him right now. He's so precious and considerate and sweet, and oh my God, I didn't realize how much I was loving Elliot until talking about with you right this second, but I do. I must know what broke them up in the first place, because what do you mean you don't want to be with this thoughtful man, but you want to be with your fiance who just already, as we know, like hopefully she does in her engagement with. Oh, and then this ties in with that. Okay, like you need to leave your fiance. He's leaving his girlfriend because he saw you and he knows he still loves you. But this thought right here, I saw Elliot Petropoulos yesterday for the first time in almost exactly 11 years, and I realized I'm still in love with him and probably always will be. Leave your fiance. Just leave him. Leave him. Literally, it's gonna suck, it's gonna hurt, but like if you know you're in love with this man, even if you can't be with him, why go be with someone else? So that's our little update so far. Probably about to read some more. Also, I know this is a fall reading vlog, but let's talk about the life of a showgirl, okay? Because this is a no skip album, completely no skips. I love every single song so much. It's been out for a week today. I am seeing so much hate for it. I'm actually not seeing that much, but I'm seeing enough hate that it's like, what is wrong with you? No, this is not folklore, but why do you want the same thing over and over? Like, why do you not want a variety of like beats and lyrics and everything. Like Taylor Swift can do no wrong. She has perfect range. She has done a country album. She has done pop. She's done like the sad, deep, what would you call folklore? I feel like we've had back-to-back, like, kind of sadder albums. The Tortured Poets Department, Midnight's wasn't necessarily sad. I feel like it was a mix with pop, but, like, let's think about You're Losing Me and then say that's not, like, the saddest song of all time. Oh my god, it hurts my heart. But anyway, back to the life of a showgirl. People just have terrible taste. I don't even know what would be my top 3. Like, honestly, they've been fighting it out this past week, and Father Figure has made its way up. I don't even know where to place it. And this is not even in order. This is just like what I can instantly think of that love. Father Figure has wormed its way into my heart. Like, I liked all the songs first listen, but I didn't necessarily care for it per se. But Father Figure is up there. Oh my god, I love it. And then I would have to say The Fate of Ophelia. I don't care. It's gonna get overplayed, but right now I don't care. I will listen to it happily. I need it in my veins. I need it injected. Opalite is so good, and if you know me, you know Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is my baby. I love it. But that one is not top 3. Ruin the Friendship. That one is so sad. As an empath, listening to that song, listen, I didn't ever really listen to Forever Winter. I didn't know what it was about. When that album came out, I wouldn't say I've always liked Taylor Swift. I was a very arrogant, ignorant person, and I take full responsibility for my stupidity. But when I first started getting into her, like, fully, I didn't really care for Forever Winter. I didn't really care for a lot of the Red Taylor's version, besides All Too Well Timid version. Like, I'll always love that. So I never really listened to Forever Winter. And then I listened to Ruin the Friendship. I was like, oh, it's kind of sad. And then I got on social media and I started seeing the whole point of Ruin the Friendship. And then I've seen all of these, like, edits, these fucking sad edits, especially the ones with Liam with the anniversary of his death coming up. Like, it's killing me. It's really hurting. It really sucks, and I don't like it, but I can't stop watching them. I don't go looking for them, but they pop up every day, every night, and I watch them. I can't help myself. I'm weak. The Fate of Ophelia, Ruin the Friendship, and Father Figure. So yeah, there's my reading and album update. I am going to go try to get through a little bit more of this book now. Quite some time since I sat down and talked. I know, like, obviously in the video it's not going to seem like that. It seems like it's been like 5 seconds maybe. I don't know how many clips are in between this one and the last one, but I finished this book last night. Look at the amount of tabs I gave to this book. That honestly was not even my favorite out of all of these. I did. Let's talk about it, and then I figured we could do like a little least to most favorite and do the ratings, because I also realized I didn't put the ratings for the first 2 books, so we'll get to that in a second. But let's review. Overall, not my favorite, but like I said before, I did preface this, I do not lean towards second chance romances a lot. And it's not that I don't like them. It's just the logical side of my brain. Like, I don't know, I guess after my frontal lobe developed, I can't do them anymore. Or I can, like, I did enjoy it. Like, the logical side of my brain is like literally just talk. Like, yes, there's always some kind of traumatic thing that happens that breaks up the couple, but it's always never resolved for a while because they don't communicate. Like, that kind of makes me think y'all don't belong together at all because y'all don't know how to talk to each other. Just talk. It's so simple. I mean, it's really not, depending on the situation. I feel like for this book, the situation was a little insane. Like, towards the end, when we fully find out why Macy kind of just ghosted Elliot. Honestly, girl, valid. I agree with you. But at the same time, eventually, you've got to talk it through. And I will say for Elliot, he's one of my least favorite male main characters around, honestly. Like, he's super smart and he does really love Macy. Something about him gave me the ick, and I honestly believe, and I hope people agree with me right now, that Emma should be in jail. Emma should 100% be in jail. Without giving it away, I don't know how to I don't know how to explain it without giving it away. So spoiler alert right here. It's more towards the end of the book. So the reason why Macy and Elliot broke up is because of Emma, which, you know, of course, you always gotta have that one hoe in there. Elliot was so drunk. And what he's telling Macy about, the way I remember it, it was you there. You came into the room. I was saying your name. And like, he's not gonna be logical because he's drunk. Like Macy's, what was it, like an hour away? How far away is Berkeley to where the cabin's at? I don't know, but she's that far away. So I wouldn't expect him to be like, oh, she's just here. No, like, he's drunk. For Emma to go in there and possibly hear Elliot keep saying Macy's name, thinking she's Macy, and still do what she does, jail. You need jail, because that is actually grape and you need jail, and I don't respect it and I don't like her, okay? Minus Emma's infidelity, or I guess Elliot's infidelity. Nothing else really made me like feel too much like anger or anything. No, I take that back. I did get super teary-eyed when it came to Macy's dad, when we found out like what all happened. That pretty much got me. And another thing, I have learned that Christina Lauren is not for me. I read The Unhoneymooners early this past summer, and it was like 2.5. I absolutely hated it. Or I didn't hate it, but like it wasn't for me. This one I do like better. I just think it's overhyped. And I know that this was like all the rage a few years back, like 2022 maybe. Maybe it was a little bit before then. Maybe it was 2020. It was around there. I feel like maybe if I would have read it then, I would have liked it more. Because this also feels like one of those books that if you're just getting into reading, or you don't read much, or you love Second Chance, I really think you would love this book. But for me, it wasn't it. But let's go over these three. So just a real refresher. We had The Naturals, Carvel, and Love in Other Words. Least to most favorite. And ratings is what we're gonna do. Oh, wait. Okay, well, there's a tie. There's a tie between a couple. These two were both 3.75 stars for me. They were not in the 4-star range at all, but they weren't in the 2-star range. I felt like 3.75 was safe for both. So this one, our female main character, Scarlett, she just irritated my soul. I understand the abuse she has from her dad and like her trust issues. Yes, valid. And I get that the game is so confusing. It's like twists and turns and nothing's real, but nothing's fake. But she just bothered me an insane amount. And that's the thing. I think the plot was great. I think the storyline, like everything it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. She really just kind of undid it all for me. I did gasp a lot, especially towards the end concerning Julian. That had me a little shook. And this one, like I said, was also 3.75, and I just kind of gave y'all my reasonings for all that. And they're two totally different genres. And this is not YA, by the way. I thought it was, but like I feel like when it comes to any kind of smut scene, even if it's not like hardcore dark romance smut, I don't feel like it should be categorized as YA. And I don't think it actually is. I know I've heard it recommended as a YA book, but it's not. I mean, I feel like I'd let my 16-year-old read this. First book I read for this video, and it was 5 stars, and I still need to get to the rest. I was focused on these two. I do plan on going to getting the second one later. Actually, I just heard today that the rest of these books are on Kindle Unlimited. I'll have to double check that, but if they are, I plan on starting it soon. Is this bothering anybody? Because it's not bothering me per se, but if that looks weird, I'm sorry. I'll try to smooch. Favorite one, oh my god, it was so good. Why did I wait so long? Even like, I'm pretty sure I said this before, but when I bought this, I had no intention of buying it. I was just trying to get a deal, and I knew I had seen it around. I knew I liked Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I knew I would eventually want to get to it. I just didn't really care at the time. I'm so glad I got to it. Perfect fall read. Oh, it was so good. It honestly low-key made me want to watch Criminal Minds, but like, that's not really my cup of tea. And if I am going to watch a show like that, it's going to be Law & Order. Law & Order was like my childhood pretty much, just like on the background, or like when I was at somebody's house they'd have Law & Order on, so that is what I prefer. But did y'all just hear my voice like go insane? I don't know what that was or why it happened. So there is some of my fall TBR done. I'm so glad I got through this. And I also realized I could have made this more fall. Have y'all ever tried taking a baby to a coffee shop and reading? It's impossible. And it just started like getting fall here in Tennessee. Like our leaves are just now, like all the trees are starting to get red and orange and yellow, and there's starting to be leaves on the ground, and it's finally getting cold. So like I started filming this before fall was actually here, even though like I started putting up a few fall things. Like we don't even have all of our there's one big decoration that I have to get out of the shed, and I just keep forgetting. I guess this was like a pre-fall, like entering in a fall reading vlog. There's my reading vlog. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you if you did watch to the end. Let me know if you read any of these books and if you would recommend going into the second one. Like, is it worth it? Should I even bother? Or no, this one I'm for sure going into. And if you are of the minority with me and you did not absolutely love this book, tell me I'm not alone. Just let me know for sure.